Malcolm, keep playing, see what happens.
How'd you come up with this world?
I've been playing there all my life.
Malcolm, keep playing, see what happens.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory, savings.
Welcome back, trivia friends. It's time for a science quiz packed with smart questions, tricky facts, and 4 fun rounds. We'll kick things off with a picture round and a choose one section, then move into mixed science trivia before finishing with multiple choice. Keep count of your points and let's get started with question 1. Can you name this piece of lab equipment? This is a Bunsen burner. What do you call this? A Petri dish. Can you identify this object often used to demonstrate motion? Newton's cradle. What scientific detector are you seeing here? A Geiger counter. What is the name of this measuring tool? Caliper. What scientific device is shown here? A gyroscope. What is the name of this lab vessel? Graduated cylinder. What piece of equipment is this? The correct answer is pipette. What kind of glassware are you looking at here? This is an Erlenmeyer flask. What is the name of this spinning lab machine? Centrifuge. The light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye. This is the measure of electric potential difference. A protein that speeds up chemical reactions in living organisms. The gas that helps shield Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiation. A rapidly spinning neutron star that emits beams of radiation. A rapidly spinning neutron star that emits beams of radiation. The preserved remains or traces of ancient life. A nerve cell. An icy object that develops a tail when it passes near the sun. An atom of the same element with a different number of neutrons. What is the most abundant gas in Earth's atmosphere? Nitrogen.
Y'all, let's take a beat to unplug.
Great idea. I'll unplug the internet.
Not the internet, Ellie. Our minds.
Either way, our AT&T Business Fiber comes with 5G backup. It keeps us connected even during network disruptions.
Say hello to Sara Lee Half Loaves. Half Loaf, right fit, realize great size, less waste, all taste, more flavors to savor. First bite right. Brand new, all you. Give a little Sara Lee love.
What is the chemical symbol for tungsten? The letter W. What is the name of the process by which plants make food using sunlight? Photosynthesis. What branch of biology studies fungi? Mycology. What hardness scale ranks minerals from talc to diamond? Mohs scale. What metal is liquid at 20 degrees Celsius? Mercury. Which planet has the shortest day in the solar system? Jupiter. What is the SI unit of electric resistance? The answer is ohm. What does DNA stand for? It is deoxyribonucleic acid. What is the medical term for low blood sugar? Hypoglycemia. What is the study of earthquakes called? Seismology. Which human organ produces insulin? The pancreas. What is the name of the boundary beyond which nothing can escape a black hole? Event horizon. What type of rock forms when magma or lava cools and solidifies? Igneous rock. What is the approximate pH of a neutral solution at 25 degrees Celsius? pH 7. What do you call an animal that is mainly active at dawn and dusk? They're called crepuscular. Is tomato a fruit or vegetable? It's a fruit. What is the second most abundant element in the universe after hydrogen? The answer is helium. What is the term for the point in an orbit that is closest to the Sun? It is called perihelion. Which branch of physics deals with heat, work, and temperature and their relation to energy? Thermodynamics. Which vitamin contains cobalt as part of its structure? Which layer of Earth's atmosphere contains most of the ozone layer? What kind of bond is formed when atoms share electrons? Which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart? What is the SI unit of frequency? Which subatomic particle determines an element's atomic number? What instrument is used to measure wind speed? Most of the sun is made up of which gas? What is the name for the change of state when a solid turns directly into a gas? Which branch of biology studies heredity and inheritance? That's all from today's quiz. Add up your total, flex your score below, and I'll see you for the next challenge.
We have an update on the MTash situation. Believe it or not, things got worse. Dude is still very unhinged. Now maybe you're thinking, update, I don't even know what's going on here, which would be totally fair considering I didn't actually make a video covering this. 2 days ago, I did a live stream talking about what happened, which, by the way, amazing turnout, great show. I had a lot of fun with that one. Thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to many more in the future. So let me recap really quick what led up to this for anyone who wasn't able to make the stream. Oh, and I should mention, for anyone not familiar with this guy at a baseline, this is a YouTuber with over 900,000 subscribers. He rose to prominence, particularly during the lockdown period, 2020, 2021-ish, also when Genshin Impact was released. Made a lot of Genshin videos, and to his credit, a lot of those videos have millions and millions of views. He was doing very well. And that takes us to 2026, May 14th. Yeah, we're skipping ahead now. When Asmongold on Twitter responds to Polymarket actually on May 10th. 4 days later, MTash sees this tweet from Asmongold. It has nothing to do with him, but he gets offended at the tweet, starts insulting Asmon on May 14th, doubles down in the second tweet, still insulting Asmongold, and then takes it even further. Because then he decides to post an entire 13-minute video on his channel, his YouTube channel, where he's spending essentially the entire video also insulting Asmongold. Bro had a complete crash out. Now, this is especially interesting because he attempted to frame this video as like advice for young men and his concerns for young men. But there was nothing of substance here at all. There was nothing compelling. There was no advice or anything good for young men, really. It was, as mentioned, basically a video of him acting really unhinged, just ranting about Asmongold for 13 minutes, more or less. And so Asmongold finds out about MTash's video. He reacts to it live. On May 15th, there's also a video upload on his channel of the VOD of this reaction. And then 3 days later, another very strange thing happens. On May 18th now, suddenly MTash says this: "End of an era. I privated all of my content because some of my Genshin videos get 1,000 to 2,000 views every single day, and I believe it keeps telling the algorithm that's my primary content. Going to see what happens if I just start fresh. Experiment begins today, lol," showing every video gone, privated and or deleted. So let's unpack this really quick. He could have done this at any point. These Genshin videos, again, his biggest, most successful Genshin videos, I believe, are all throughout 2020 and 2021. So if this was an issue, he had years to do this, but he didn't. And it's only within days of him looking terrible in his own video and or Asmin reacting to that video that he decides to say all this stuff and delete or private everything. Now, it's especially interesting because, again, the video that he made, the one about young men, he's saying he did this to, like, help young men.
New TheraBreath toothpaste fights bad breath for 12 hours.
Now that's fresh.
Epic freshness guaranteed.
Own a vacation rental? If it's not listed on Booking.com, it's invisible to millions of travelers on our platform. Don't let your vacation rental be invisible. Get seen, get booked. On Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
While I've already pointed out that, in my opinion, it didn't help young men, if that's what he stands by, saying that that video is to help young men, how are you going to make that take and make that video and then delete it and or private it within days later? That doesn't really add up. He wants us to believe he genuinely cares about helping young men, but then within days he deletes or privates that exact video. It's a strange look. Taking it even further, Tectone did something similar. I forget if it was weeks or months ago, but Tectone said that his old gotcha videos were getting residual views years later, and he thought this was causing algorithmic issues for him on YouTube. And so he deleted or privated a lot of those videos, and in the following days, if I recall, Tectone posted analytics showing that it did seem to help his channel. Of course, this doesn't mean it would help everyone, but that's what Tectone did, and he followed it up as mentioned. So it seems like Mtash saw that, despite the fact that he's not saying anything about Tectone here, but it seems like he got that from Tectone, and he tried it with his own channel. But still, nevertheless, the timing is very suspicious, and it just got even weirder, as mentioned, because we have another update. Excuse me, I just found out in real time. We actually have multiple updates. Let me start with the one that I just found out literally right now as of recording. It looks like an hour ago he posted a follow-up response to Asmongold and Tectone. That's going to be great content. Expect a live stream on that. We're going to watch that live, I'll tell you right now. I'll do the show today or tomorrow. So plan on that. Hope you guys will enjoy that. And the initial update I made this video about was, as you can see, he's been bringing videos back on his channel. But very specific videos. It seems like he's only bringing back... originally, when I planned on recording, there was like 5 videos here. I phrased that a little bit strangely. Bear with me, I'm reacting to this in real time right now. This is a little bit unexpected. So, to rephrase this, my initial update was showing you guys that he's brought back like 6 to 7 videos, and they were some of his most viewed videos. Now you can see there's actually more than that. He's brought back a lot of videos from the last number of years. Still not all his videos. Most of these are from like 3 to 4 years ago or so. 3 years ago in particular, actually. But there's so many contradictions here. For example, he said he took these videos down because they were potentially hurting his channel. And now, almost as soon as he did that, in other words, he hasn't really had time to test this theory. He's just bringing a lot of his old videos back now. So that's a contradiction. On top of that, the video he recently made trying to help young men, even though it wasn't really helping young men, that's what he said about it, right? He said he was trying to help young men. That video is still gone. So, interesting. Now, there was another part of the update I wanted to talk to you about, and that is related to this video he posted one day ago. The coolest MMO you've never heard of. Because at the end of that video, for about 3 to 4 minutes, he addresses some of his recent behavior. Some of it is what he said on Twitter already. Nevertheless, this is part of the update that I wanted to bring to you today. Let's check this out.
To address the very obvious elephant in the room, I privated pretty much every video ever on my channel. Like 2,800 videos. I've been doing this for like a decade, and I'm doing one final experiment before I move on from this channel and just completely start fresh. I get like 1,000 to 2,000 views a day on some of my Genshin videos. Some of my old Genshin videos, some of the guides, they still generate so many views. I worry that the only people finding my channel are Genshin people in a lot of cases. For some reason, those guides are so evergreen that it just keeps telling YouTube over and over and over again, Genshin channel, Genshin channel, Genshin channel. So if I make something new, they're not interested. And repeatedly, I have a feeling that when any of my videos are shared, it's only the Genshin ones. It's never my Soul Frame video. It's never this far ever MMO video. Ones that I'm generally proud of making those videos. I'm happy with those videos. I would love people to see them and maybe like those videos. I just don't think people see them. And I have a lot of data backing this all up, and I've been tracking this for quite a while. And even some of my old Destiny videos and Monster Hunter, I have a Monster Hunter video. It gets 1,000 views a day. And that's crazy. It's only 70 cents or $1 a day. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but I think that it is a lot of data. 1,000 people clicking that, like a gymnasium worth of people clicking that every single day. I think that changes things. I think that impacts my channel, and I don't think it's impacting it in a great way. Now, this could crash and burn. I could completely lose all my audience, and that's okay, because at this moment in time, I'm willing to make a new channel to cover more content like this than some of the old guides in the past.
There's a little bit more, but let's pause. Clearly, this is not adding up with all this behavior. This is just... I kind of feel bad for this guy. Something's just so off, right? Like, what is going on with this guy? It doesn't make sense. Now, it doesn't excuse how he's acting. This is a grown man. He's responsible for his own behavior and the stuff he's doing. But I still feel a little bad because, like, clearly something's off.
Tired of sifting through jobs that don't feel like the right fit? Introducing Indeed Career Scout. Find the job that's right for you.
And this is to say that he's made all these claims, but now, as we saw in real time a moment ago, he's brought a lot of those videos back. So who even knows what his current stance is? Maybe we'll find out when we do that live stream, checking out that other video. Let's play like the last minute of this one and see what else is here first.
I really struggle to marry myself to one game. A live service game like Destiny 1 or 2 that can last 4 or 5 years, it is very rare and doesn't happen often. I have a really hard time playing those games if they get boring, and the only reason I lasted so long on something like Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 is because they had so much content and PvP to keep me busy in the slow times. But I've jumped around from game to game to game for so long, and at this moment in time, I'm just going to take a risk, and I'm just going to cover gaming news, gaming trailers, games that interest me, topics that interest me, and I'm going to try to make them with high energy because I am actually engaged and not forcing out a video on something that I don't want to talk about. If the channel dies, that's too bad. I just lost 900,000 subs. See you later. But I'm just going to start fresh on a new channel so that when I get 1 subscriber on the day, it'll feel a lot better than losing hundreds of subscribers that aren't getting the Genshin content that they want. And I'm completely fine with that decision because it's been a long time coming. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.
You know what? I'm starting to feel a little less bad for this guy, and I'm like actually kind of like scared. Not like literally scared, but I'm getting like defensive instincts are activating here a little bit because he comes off genuine. I have to say, like he comes off sincere in the way that he's like talking here. He comes off genuine. But clearly he isn't because he just contradicted like all of this. So is he just good at lying? I don't know. But that's where we're at currently. That is the update aside from the other video that, look, I'd love to talk about that right now, but that's a 40-minute video. I got to watch that. Like I said, a video that long, I'd prefer to just do a live stream on it, especially because there was already interest in this topic on my last live stream. So that's my plan. And to get personal really quick, just regarding the schedule, the timing. I got to be at a training today. My coach is mad. I haven't been training enough. I told him I'd be in today. But now I'm tempted to not go. I'm tempted to just do this video and then get ready to do a live stream. So I got to figure out if I'm going to do that today, like I said earlier, or tomorrow, which I'll try to do. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to get this video processed, get it uploaded, figure this all out. And we'll see. We'll see what happens next. But I'll leave it here for now. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. And yeah, I'll catch you then.
If you didn't